and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com. Central Texas High School football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at georgetownshirtcompany.com. The LBJ Jaguars.
Welcome back here to Tony Burger Center, live from South Austin, where we are just about set for kickoff. About 4 minutes away here as LBJ gets set to take on Crockett. Of course, LBJ coming into this matchup at 4-2. And as I bring in my broadcast partner here, Kelly Crockett, definitely a struggling year so far, coming in at 2-4. But LBJ coming off a tough loss last week, a 17-14 loss, but a good Dripping Springs team. They're both teams looking to bounce back, get their season back on track, but obviously LBJ kind of the favorites coming into tonight.
They are, and with the battle that LBJ had last week, we'll see how they bounce back and respond this week. Tough loss to a tough Dripping Springs team. Great football game. Crockett, of course, has had some struggles this season, and with those struggles, again, you got to think LBJ is the favorite, but we'll see if LBJ can get something started on the ground, see if they can get some momentum early, keep it going throughout the first quarter, and see what they can do against this LBJ squad.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be important for Crockett to get off to a good start. They cannot fall behind. This is an LBJ team that aside from that 17-14 loss last week, like I said, a good Dripping Springs team. Before that, they beat Northeast College, Early College High School, formerly known as Reagan, 49-0. And the week before that, they beat a pretty beaten down McCallum team in a 56-0 blowout as well. So they know how to put up points. A tougher matchup last week, but they'll look to continue the high-scoring output and lockdown defense as they've been showing so far for a lot of the season.
Yeah, and tonight LBJ is really going to rely on their junior quarterback, junior running back, Daquan Donaldson, in a power run game, and then let Hunter Scott try to open things up in the middle of the Crockett defense with that passing game as well on the other side of the football. Really, Crockett is going to be relying on Patrick Ray, number 5, and the combination between Patrick Ray and Michael Newton. And Andrew Jones, the running back, is going to have his hands full tonight. So should be an interesting game.
Defending the west end zone. At this time, I'd like to ask if you would please stand. Ask you gentlemen if you would remove your ball caps.
AISC Thursday night game of the week, presented to you by Georgetown Jewelry, coming at you all season long for Thursday night. Of course, tonight we are at Tony Burger Center. And last week, I believe the had a good matchup. Of course, Brad Tillery and Carl Schoening on the call. We're going to send it to the field as soon as we can for the national anthem.
Thank you. You may be seated.
We are moments away from kickoff here for the Thursday night game of the week presented by Georgetown. Drew Stephen Strong with you tonight alongside Kelly Duvall. Kelly, you've done one or two of these Thursday night game of the week so far tonight. I've done one similarly, but neither of us have actually done a game here from Tony Berger. But shout out to the wonderful facility that's been here for so long. You actually mentioned in pregame you've been on this field before.
Yeah, I have actually. It's kind of funny that I marched on this field my senior year of high school. So 1983, I marched at the state marching contest prelims on this field. So this stadium's been here a long time, very well known in the area, very iconic in the area. Got to do the Taco Shack Bowl the first week.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Berger Stadium. It's football time in Texas. Our matchup tonight features the LBJ Jaguars.
Yeah, we are definitely happy to be here and happy to be bringing all Thursday night game of the weeks here in on Austin ISD all throughout the season. And it's cool to bounce around and check out some of these teams that we don't always get to broadcast. I know you're a part of the Georgetown Eagle broadcast, some of the Southwestern broadcasts as well that we are able to do on SHN Sports. Of course, me and Justin are able to host the Friday night SHN Football Friday on Friday nights for coverage all night long, and it's a pleasure to be in the booth once again for some play-by-play action as we are underway. It's a pooch kick, short pop-up, but it is fielded at the 20. It's going to be fair caught right there at the 21, and that
is fair caught by number 23,
is where Crockett will take over.
His offense will take over. It'll be 1st and 10.
So we'll see how Crockett is going to start off early in this game and see what they can do against this LBJ defense. I would suspect they're going to try to maybe open it up a little bit because the Crockett defense has been somewhat, or the LBJ defense has been somewhat suspect this year. So we'll see how well they can do.
So we'll come out in a shotgun with two receivers, or one receiver wide on each side. A little pitch to the back who picks up a blocker, shifts, and gets a few yards on the carry. He's taken down right at the 30, just on the outside of the 30-yard line. And I believe
Andrew Jones on the carry for the Cougars. Tackle made by
it was Andrew Jones, number 33, the running back there for the Cougars, to pick up a few yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Good job by Jones bouncing that out. Good blocking by the receivers on the outside to take the corners out of the play.
Newton in shotgun, turns, hands it off once again to Jones. This time he only gets a couple as he rumbles forward just straight up the middle on that run. It'll bring up a 3rd and short here early on for Crockett. We mentioned how important it is for them to get off to a good start, and it starts right here with their first 3rd down of the drive, facing a 3rd and 3. Kelly.
Sorry, the LBJ defense is really going to tighten up in there and stop that run because that's where I think Crockett's going to be really heavy is in that run game. 3rd
down and 3. Two receivers to his left, one in motion, turns, hands it off once again to Jones, and stuffed at the line of scrimmage, fighting ahead. He's actually closer than he may have seemed early on, but he is still short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1. A good second effort, but still unable to get across the line, and it's looking like they're going to go for it. They're not showing any signs of coming off the field.
Yeah, I suspect they're going to try. They have nothing to lose, really, by doing this early, but this sure would give Crockett or LBJ great field position if the LBJ defense can hold here.
4th down and 1, and already we're having an attempt to go for it as it'll be Newton in shotgun. He'll have his receiver from right to left, and once again another pitch to Andrew Jones, trying to cut the outside and reaching for it, and I'm not sure he got there. He's going to be short. Just terrific defense by that LBJ, speed on the outside to force the turnover on downs, and the ball will go straight to the Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jags defense really did a great job of pursuing on that. You saw the speed that the Jaguars have on their defense over there. So kind of a questionable call maybe by the Crockett coach to go for it that early in the game. But, again, they've got nothing to lose. So,
yeah, I mean, you're deep in your own territory, but it was just 1 yard. It was interesting to choose to go outside there. They had a couple runs in success going up the middle, but instead chose to try to pop it outside and ended up paying for it. So now it'll be LBJ ball, 1st and 10 from the Crockett 33, and cutting it outside up the right sideline is their back, and stepping out of bounds. That's Danny Davis, the junior on the end around, getting close to a first down.
Nice job by Davis. Again, they did the same thing that Crockett did, was try that outside. They had some success out there, good 4-yard pickup, so they're looking at a 2nd and 4.
It's a good run to the outside, as you said, Kelly, picking up a good chunk of yards on first down, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 ball on the Crockett 27-yard line. 10:02 to go here in the first quarter. No score yet. LBJ trying to change that. 2nd and 4. Run up the middle here. Once again, just piling and fighting for that extra yardage right at the goal line. It's close. Danny Davis. And I think they're going to mark him just short. He's very close. It's going to bring up a huge 3rd down here. 3rd and inches really here for LBJ. And if Crockett can get a stop, that would be huge. He hands it off to Danny Davis. Big hole up ahead, and he gets rocked, but stays on his feet, and then it gets dropped just outside the 10. He's all the way down to the 11-yard line, so no problem there on the 3rd down and 1. And just like that, LBJ is threatening just outside the 10.
Good strong run by Davis, right at the teeth of the Crockett defense, and he was able to get that first down.
And another outside play here as he is dropped just inside the 10, so about a 2-yard gain there, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and goal.
Going to be relying a whole lot on that number 1, I believe we'll see tonight. So the Jaguars looking good on their first drive.
$8:50 to go here in the second quarter. Another run up the middle. Danny fighting to the goal line, and he is stopped just shy. Danny Davis on the carry. And that was actually, I believe, Sean Fresh on the carry. But he does get the first down just enough. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 1, and trudging ahead and stopped. Ooh, good defense there by Crockett as they stood him up just at the edge of the goal line to prevent the score. Regardless of how this series ends for either team, Crockett is putting up a fight up front so far.
Yeah, they are. Big number 45 and 48 right in the middle. Got penetration for the Crockett defense, and were able to shut that run down before it got anything going at all.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1. Just one more straight up handoff, and it is a touchdown here for LBJ. Sean Fresh just kind of took that and ran right up the middle. Good blocking by that offensive line, and LBJ strikes first here with 8:08 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, we see that offensive line, boy. They're just big, and they're able to move their guys off the football, control that line of scrimmage, and it showed there.
So in for the extra point, it's number 34, Gerardo Benitez, and it is up and good. The senior gets the extra point to go. So with 8:08 to go here in the first quarter, each team with one possession. LBJ leads it 7-0 over Crockett. We're going to take a quick moment. Be right back with the kickoff as Crockett will get the ball back. You're listening to Thursday Night Football here on the AIC Game of the Week here on SHN Sports, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
Your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105.
And welcome back to Tony Berger Center
number 4, Josh Early.
for the AISC Thursday Night Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Steven Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall, where it is 7-0. LBJ on top with 8:08 to go here in the first quarter. And LBJ set to kick off. And this one, another pop-up. It's going to be fielded right. And it's going to be dropped, but taken at the 20. Trying to find some blockers and run up the left sideline, and finally forced out of bounds at about the 27 6-yard line, and that is where Crockett will take over for their second possession of the game. First one did not go quite as planned, Kelly.
Yeah, the offense is really going to have to try to get something going and mix this up. I would imagine at some point they're going to have to turn to that pass game, which they've struggled in a little bit this season, but they're going to have to mix it up some and see if they can do something against this tough Jaguar defense.
I want to thank you for joining us. Of course, all weekend, a lot of games lined up here for SHN, as it'll be Crockett first down and 10 from their own 28. They'll turn, hand it off, trying to find some outside space and just nowhere to go. That was number 4, Josh Early, the back on the carry, and just no space for him to go, and he'll end up losing a few yards, a chunk of yards actually on that carry.
Yeah, Gabriel Sims came up and made a nice tackle out there, and the LBJ defense just stretched that play out. No place for the Crockett running back to go, nothing they can do, and we see the speed of that the Crockett defense. LBJ defense, so Crockett may have to try the middle.
Second down and 17, and before play can get started, I believe a timeout was taken by Crockett. They didn't like what they saw, and that is indeed the case. We'll go ahead and take one too. With 7:20 to go, LBJ on top, 7-0. You're listening to Thursday Night Football AISD Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry, here live on SHN Sports.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Welcome back here to Tony Berger Center, where it is 7-0 LBJ on top with 7:20 to go here in the first quarter. Crockett facing a second down and 17, and as you said, Kelly, we're going to need to see them put the ball through the air at some point, as it'll be Newton back to throw, rolls left, and heaves it, and is at the feet. Trying to scoop it was his intended receiver. I believe that was Xavier Chapa.
Michael Newton's pass falls incomplete. Bring up third down and 17.
But it will fall incomplete and bring up a third and a mile here. Not the start that Crockett wanted.
Yeah, Devontae Sheff was able to get back there and get pressure. Quarterback had to throw the ball before he was ever ready to throw it.
Third down and 17 here for Newton. And the Crockett offense, 2 receivers wide to his left with 2 backs on each side of him. Will turn, hand it off, and having to back up and brought down in the backfield
Josh Early on the carry
was Edward Thompson, the linebacker, blowing up that play. And Early just nowhere to go once again, and backwards they go further, and it'll bring up 4th and 24.
LBJ is mixing it up on that defensive line, and it's really confusing the blocking schemes for Crockett. They had a hard time wide open for the linebacker to make his way through, make a great play in the backfield. So there's the second drive for Crockett stalls again.
So the punt is away, and it's a short hopper, and it's going to actually take a good roll for Crockett. Fielded right there at the near the 50, spinning around more, just with nowhere to go, somehow staying on his feet and just continuing to go backwards. Now he picks up a couple blocks, flag is thrown, but he cuts up the right sideline. 15, 10, 5, touchdown LBJ, but this one might be coming back, as there is a flag near the area where he was trying to shift around and pick up some blocks. I wouldn't be surprised if this is some sort of holding or block in the back. We'll await the call.
I think it was a block in the back out here on this side. Away from the play, actually. Onside block.
So wipe the points off the board. And in fact, maybe a credit to those points is the penalty and an illegal block on the return. So it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. The flag was thrown at about the 50, so they'll back this up back into LBJ territory. LBJ won't get off quite that easy for this drive.
LBJ, now I think we're going to see some wrinkles in their offense. May go to that running game. They've got the heavy set in the backfield, but wouldn't be surprised if we see some motion out of that.
6:16 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0. LBJ on top. They'll turn and hand it off this time to Fresh once again, trying to bounce it outside, but good penetration by that D-line as he was unable to get cut to the outside. It's only about a gain of 1.
Crockett did a good job of stretching that out. Guys staying home, taking care of their assignments, doing what they've got to do to shut that run down and keep bouncing it farther and farther outside, where that sideline becomes an extra defender, and Crockett did a good job of shutting that run down.
2nd down and 8. Ball is handed off once again. This is this is Fresh, and once again he swallowed up, but he did get a few more yards this time. They're kind of keeping him in control. It was Danny Davis on the carry, and he picks up a few to make this a little more manageable. 3rd down. 3rd down and 4 from their own 41 upcoming.
Yeah, heavy in the running game. Quarterback's got a good arm on him, but it looks like they're going to be relying on a lot of the running game tonight.
3rd and 4, and the quarterback gets it over to the right sideline. It is caught right there by Andrew Makuba, and a good throw from Scott to pick up the 1st down, keep the chains going. Got exactly what they needed, and then a couple more. Physical catch and run there by Makuba.
That kind of pass is really an extension of the running game. I know it's downfield just a little bit, but it bounces out there. Now you've got isolation out on that side. Makes it tough for the Crockett defense to do much with.
1st down and 10, ball right at midfield. And it'll be shotgun formation here for Newton. He'll turn, hand it off. And this is his back up the right sideline and spinning and forced out of bounds. Of Sean Fresh on the carry. A big gain there. It's about a 20-yard run there put together by Sean Fresh.
Nice run. Nice job in the running game. And you see that offensive line able to control the line of scrimmage, a point of attack. And it's just giving LBJ everything they need to just run this football.
1st down and 10 from the 30. And an inside handoff. Once again, just a good chunky yards. Good push by that offensive line. And a quick 5 yards put together there.
There's some big, strong guys on that offensive line for LBJ. Boy, they have got some size to them.
4 on the play brings up 2nd down and 6.
2nd down and 6 from the 25-yard line. To fake the handoff. They fumbled the ball, and it's recovered by Crockett. What a mistake there. It was Jay Riggins who took the direct snap, faked the handoff, and just mishandled the ball. And I believe it was number 45 on the recovery, Adam Wenzel, if I'm not mistaken, falling on the ball immediately. And what a break there for Crockett.
That's a huge break, and that's the momentum that they can build on. So this is where the Cougars really need to take advantage now. Get to their game plan, run the football, try to move these guys off the offensive line and control that line of scrimmage and do something in the run game now.
It's 1st down and 10 from their own 30. And looking to throw, firing up the right sideline. Almost picked. That would have been a pick 6 if he had been able to come up with that. It just goes off his fingertips.
Incomplete, intended for number 33, Andrew Jones.
Jakeem Maxwell was the man who just dropped that pick 6 from Newton, but man, he would have gone house if he had been able to come up with that.
Yeah, Maxwell was watching the quarterback's eyes the whole way, and he jumped that route. And the Cougars are fortunate that wasn't an LBJ touchdown.
And instead, it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from their own 30. Newton in shotgun with the man in motion. And play is blown dead before it can start. I believe this is going to be a false start, as the rest will figure it out. And that is indeed the call. That'll knock them back 5. So Crockett gets the big break on defense, a mishandled snap. They fall on it. They have been very stagnant so far on offense. This is their 3rd drive of the game. And a quick play and then a penalty, a false start, but it'll bring up 2nd down and 15 from their own 25. 2 receivers down to his right, one up top to his left, and on his turn, handed off and just stuffed up the middle, losing a yard. is the back on the carry. I believe it. Let's see who it was. It was Josh Early. And he will lose a yard, and that'll bring up once again a 3rd and 16.
You see those self-inflicted penalties and self-inflicted wounds that just absolutely kill drives. And we saw it here. We go from 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8 to 1st and 15. Now 2nd and 15, 3rd and 16. Just moving backwards, and this has really been a problem all season.
And he'll turn, hand it off up the middle, shaking a couple tacklers, but just unable to find any space. It's good moves and shifty running, but then the defensive line just keeps coming and coming and coming, and Jones with nowhere to go, and it'll bring up 4th down. He actually gained a yard on that play, but it'll bring up 4th and 15.
Well, and the offensive line just can't keep the LBJ defense out of their backfield right now, so they're going to have to try to come up with something. Some cross blocks, some misdirection stuff going on to try to throw the defense off.
2:45 to go here in the first quarter. LBJ on top, 7-0. The punt is away, and it's a short punt fielded at the 50. Cutting upfield, cutting up the middle, picking up a block up the right side. Can he take it all the way? One man to beat, and he is in for the touchdown. No flags. LBJ with the touchdown, and they can increase their lead on that punt return. It was Andrew Makuba on the return, the junior, and he gets done what LBJ's been trying to do, almost been doing the last few plays, finally get that 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, we saw that speed on the last punt that wound up coming back on a penalty, but he was able to get this one up the field. No penalties on the special teams for the Jaguars, puts another point on the board. So all 3 aspects of this game are working for the Jaguars right now.
In for the extra point attempt is Gerardo Benitez. But yeah, as you said, Kelly, just looking dominant on all sides of the game. I know we still have 2:30 to go in the first quarter, but so far LBJ having their way and even committing a few mistakes as the extra point is up and good. And with 2:30 to go here in the first quarter, your score LBJ 14, Crockett 0. And we'll keep it right here as we await kickoff. But, you know, Crockett has had some moments. They've had some breaks. They recovered a fumble that really was self-inflicted on LBJ themselves. Just unable to capitalize on offense, unable to get anything going.
Yeah, mishandling that handoff was really the only mistake that we've seen out of the Jaguars right now. The Cougars were able to come up with the turnover, but haven't been able to do anything with it since. And the Cougars are going to have to do something now. Hang on to that football, give their defense a rest, or they're going to get tired and this game's going to get out of hand.
Of course, we mentioned LBJ coming in at 4-2 on the year. Crockett coming into tonight's contest 2-4. Both teams coming off a loss last week, pretty close loss. Of course, LBJ lost to Dripping Springs 14-17. But they've been involved in some blowouts so far this year in a rout of Northeast Early College High School Prep and McCallum as well in a 56-0 victory just a few weeks ago. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter, coming at you live from Tony Berger Center. As your score, LBJ 14, Crockett nothing, and LBJ set to kick this one away. And this one deeper a little bit. It's going to be fielded right at the 15, and that is where it's going to be fair caught. Right there by Joseph Lopez. So out will come that Crockett defense once again.
And the Cougar coaching staff now, their goal is to not let these guys get their heads down, stay in this football game, and execute like they know they're supposed to execute, like they've been coached to execute, and see if they can get some sort of momentum to build on.
First down and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Newton in shotgun with 2 receivers wide to his left, with his back to his left, and he'll turn, hand it off to Jones, and Jones is trying to get to outside and just able to squeeze through 2 defenders enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's kind of been the story of the running game so far.
I don't know that Crockett's going to have a whole lot of success out there on the edges because there's so much speed on the LBJ defense. So we might look and see if the Cougars are able to start trying to work something in the middle for that running game.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. Ball on their own 25. One receiver wide right. And 2 backs in the backfield next to Newton. As he'll turn, hand it off once again, trying to make a couple people miss, and once again getting dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Trying to see who was on the carry there.
On the carry for the Cougars. Tackle made by Danny Davis. No gain on the play, brings up 3rd down and 10.
Danny Davis, the backup running back on the tackle, playing both sides. So one of the few 3rd down and 10s we've seen in a while. It's been a 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17 kind of night so far for this Crockett offense. And this is now a 3rd and 10 from their own 25. One receiver wide up top to his left, and Newton in shotgun. So he'll turn and direct to his running back. This time fakes the handoff, pitches it the other way, trying to cut back inside and stopped once again. That LBJ defensive line is just unbelievably pinned. They're just all over the backfield right now. It's another loss, goes down as a 1-yard loss, and the punt team will come out for Crockett.
They tried adjusting some of the blocking and bringing some guys out to the edge to help them try to get around that edge, but LBJ defense was just having no part of it. There's a ton of speed over there on that LBJ side.
There's an injured Jaguar on the field. Appears to be number 24, Fred Givens.
And we'll take a moment while an injured player is down on the field. For, I believe it's LBJ, and
that was interesting.
Was able to walk off on his own, under his own power.
Yeah, he got up and walked off before the trainer even got to him.
So now we should be able to commence with the punt. 4th down and 11 from their own 24, and back deep to receive this punt for LBJ is Andrew Makuba, who already has one to the house. The 2nd touchdown for LBJ. As this one is, it takes a Crockett bounce and is scooped up, and this is actually Sean Fresh on the return. Trying to pick up a couple blockers, reversing field, cutting up the right sideline. One man to beat, and he is going to go all the way. LBJ, touchdown, Jaguars. As Sean Fresh gets in on the love on the punt return, touchdown action going on here for the Jaguars with 7 seconds to go in the first quarter, and LBJ takes a 3-touchdown lead.
Just speed all over the field for the Jaguars out there. You can see that speed is causing the Cougars a lot of problems, and guys not staying home whenever that directional kick goes. Guys on the kick return team or the kick coverage team have to stay in their lanes, and we saw them collapse down and get beat to the outside. The result was another punt return for a touchdown.
Crockett sending on a man late, but the extra point is up and good. So just the start that LBJ wanted, and pretty much the opposite on the Crockett side of things. With 7 seconds to go here in the first quarter, your score LBJ 21, Crockett 0. And thank you for tuning in to the AISC Thursday Night Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry here on SHN Sports. Stephen Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall.
We kind of expected LBJ to dominate this game, but I'm impressed with how they've dominated it so early in the game to this point. And boy, they have just taken it to Crockett, and Crockett's just having a fit trying to do something with that speed.
Yeah, we know LBJ is known for having athletes, for having speedsters, and that is proving to be true tonight for sure. As they have 2 punt returns taken to the house. They actually had 3, and one was called back due to a illegal block in the back, but both Sean Fresh and Andrew Makuba out there balling out on the returns team.
It'll be interesting to see if the Crockett coaches come up with something to try to some trick plays or some misdirection, guys in motion, something to try to throw off this LBJ pursuit.
So Benitez will come in for the kickoff. Once again, it's a high flyer that'll take a bounce and be picked up at the 18, and that's they're going to call it dead.
Yeah, once that kick receiver waves his hand, it doesn't matter if the ball bounces or not. Once it's fielded cleanly, it's dead right where it's fielded, and it doesn't matter whether it's the same receiver or not. If anybody on the kick return team throws their hand up for fair catch, it's a fair catch.
Called for and not made, so the ball is recovered at the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars from their own 19-yard line.
So out will come this Crockett offense once again. Newton in at quarterback. 1st down and 10 from their own 19-yard line. And Newton in shotgun with 2 receivers wide to his left, and they'll turn, hands it off to Jones, who rumbles forward, and I thought he fumbled, but it was actually a helmet that popped off. He hung onto the ball, but he gains about 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
Brought down by number
one
2,
of the Cougars,
Andrew Makuba.
or one of the Jaguars' defensive players, it was Makuba. His helmet popped off, so we'll have to sit out this next play, but it'll bring up 2nd down.
They tried that outside again, had a little bit of success, couple of yards, but as this quarter has drawn to a close,
and with that play, we have reached the end of our
the
first
Cougars
quarter.
really have to
LBJ
do something to try to
21,
come up with something
Crockett,
that can deal with the speed of this LBJ defense.
And as you said, Kelly, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter with your score, LBJ 21, Crockett 0. And we'll actually keep it right here while the teams switch sides. But a good start, obviously, for LBJ, coming off a heartbreaking loss last week. And really just wanted to start this game off strong, and they have done just that.
They have. And this is the first time I've seen LBJ play this season, and, man, they've got some speed out there on the edges. They play in a tough district, and that speed is what they're going to rely on through the remainder of the season to make that push to the playoffs.
Well, as we get set for the second quarter here on the AISC Thursday Night Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry, live from Tony Berger Center here on SHN Sports. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from their own 22. Newton in shotgun with 1 receiver down to his left. He'll turn, hand it off, and just unable to find much space and a little bit of indecision there by the back. It was Josh Early on the carry. It does pick up a couple more, but it'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
Every gap that's supposed to be there winds up getting filled with a white jersey, and you saw some desperation there on his part because that run was designed to go outside that left tackle, but there was nothing there, so he tried to bounce it back, find a lane on the inside, but no lane there.
Yeah, you could kind of see by the way his feet were jumping around. He started to dart and then realized it plugged up and just had to try to make something else work. 3rd down and 5. Alone in the backfield is Newton. He'll heave it down the field, and that is incomplete, but a flag is thrown, and we may be looking at a defensive pass interference as it was intended for number 13, Joseph Lopez, and I believe it was Sean Fresh on the coverage, and it seemed like he kind of got in the way between the receiver and the football, and I think he's going to be called for defensive pass interference here.
There's that wrinkle that we were looking for, some kind of change, and they tried something downfield. The play was there. So the penalty gives that's their largest gain for the Cougar offense. But I like to see that. I like to see them mixing it up a little bit, trying something to deal with the speed on this LBJ side of the football.
1st down and 10 from their own 38. Newton in shotgun, 2 receivers wide to his right. He'll turn, hand it off to Jones. Jones reversing field, kind of get up that left sideline. He's forced out of bounds, but not before he picks up about 3 on the 4 on the carry. But yeah, as you said, Kelly finally aired it out a little bit. And honestly, that was a good throw by Newton. He gave his receiver a chance and got the defender to bite and kind of get in the way. I mean, that may have been completed if it wasn't a pass interference.
Well, and the play was there, so that's going to loosen up, keeping those corners from being able to just dive in and help stop that running game. which freed up for a nice little gain on first down there.
Goes down as a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6 from their own 43. Newton pitches over to Jones, and Jones is dropped right there. Maybe.
Andrew Jones on the carry for the Cougars.
In fact, he's going to lose a couple yards that he had gained, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 9. That's a 3-yard loss there.
Play back to the 40-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Just good push by that defensive front for LBJ.
Yep, and you've got 2 runs in a row after a long pass, so they kind of stiffen up a little bit. And the Cougars are trying to take some advantage because the LBJ defense is playing man-to-man on those receivers, and they're not having any problems with the coverage out there.
3rd down and 9 from their own 40. Newton in shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, 1 up top to his right. He's going to heave it right, and that is incomplete. No flags this time, just excellent defense. Both guys kind of had a chance to go at it. Just the physicality ends up knocking the ball loose. And the man who was, or actually that was Danny Davis there out there in the coverage to force the incompletion. It'll bring up 4th down, and out comes the punt unit here for Crockett.
Not successful, but I like the play call. I think the Cougars are going to have to mix it up like that and go more to a passing type game to try to loosen up the middle of that line to do anything on the running game. Usually you say you got to successfully run the ball to open up the pass game. The same holds true with the pass game. If you can have some success there, then that can open up some stuff in the run.
And no one is back deep to receive this punt, as they're content with just letting it bounce, as it is going to go straight out of bounds, actually. So I guess we're okay with not returning, as this is going to be marked out at the 48-yard line, just on the LBJ side of the 50. That's where LBJ is going to take over. Not a good punt there for Crockett.
No, not a good punt. 20-yard punt, maybe. Actually 15, 16-yard punt. That shows you how scared they are of that kick return team after they've seen 2 of them taken to the house by LBJ.
Yeah, but what's funny is that might have been your best opportunity to kick it deep. They didn't have anyone deep to receive.
Well, the punter didn't see anybody back there. LBJ suspected there may be a fake, so they kept everybody up, and the punter didn't see that. He could have sent that ball down the field and really flipped this field.
So instead, it'll be 1st down and 10 from their own 48. This time it's the keeper, as Hunter Scott fakes the handoff to Davis and runs it up the middle, and he's close to another 1st down. About a 9.5-yard carry there. Bring up 2nd down and 1.
That misdirection is really keeping the Cougars defense on their heels, and they're opening up that middle for a great run now, 2nd short, which is exactly what LBJ is going to want to do, is just control this football.
9:05 to go here in the 2nd quarter. 21-0, LBJ on top. They fake the handoff once again, and slant route over to Davis, who cuts ahead and gets dropped by a flurry of Crockett defensive backs in the secondary, but he gets all the way to the 34-yard line. And how about Hunter Scott hanging in the pocket there, taking a huge hit, but delivering an on-target dart.
Yeah, he did a good job. He had a little bit of extra time, but he knew he was going to get hit, set his feet, threw a good pass. And I think the LBJ coaches have set up what we're seeing on this drive now, because it was heavy in that run game, which is sucking those cornerbacks and linebackers in some.
1st down and 10, empty backfield. Scott heaves it over to Davis up the left sideline. How about that speed? 5, touchdown, LBJ. As you knew, the second Davis had that in his hands, and he turned on the jets. No one was going to slow him down, and that will increase the lead for LBJ with 8:27 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Wow.
Yeah, you saw his speed there, because there were 3 players out there that you thought had an angle on him, were able to do something, maybe keep him out of the end zone. But, boy, he turned that speed on. Nobody got a hand on him. My goodness, he's fast.
Number 34, Gerardo Benitez, on to attempt the point after touchdown.
So here comes Benitez for the extra point attempt. 8:27 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Extra point is up and good. So with 8:27 to go here until halftime, LBJ 28. And Crockett with 0. We're going to keep it right here for the transition to the kickoff. LBJ, I mean, there's not much more you can say about their speed, about their athleticism, and that's really been the huge difference in this contest.
Yeah,
on all whether it's defense, offense, special teams, they're just quick, man.
Yeah, getting ready for this game, you start looking at their stats and you see their run-heavy stats. They've had some success in the past game, but boy, you see the speed that they've got. It's just so difficult for the Cougars to try to keep up with it.
Still a lot of time left in this first half. You got to think if Crockett can mount a drive here, get on the board. It's only a 3-score game. Still half a quarter and a whole another half to play. But we're going to have to see more, a little bit more of what they kind of started to show last drive with some play action and some passes to the outside. They have some receivers that can match up against the corners for LBJ, just unable to connect so far.
Well, LBJ's done a good job of their play calling too. And like I said earlier, that run-heavy first quarter really set up the ability to spread things out because they started stacking stuff towards the middle on the Crockett side of the football. So that opened up the outside, and with the speed, it's just almost impossible for those corners to get out there.
And this is going to be fair, caught right at the 15, and
fair catch called for and made by number 13, Joseph Lopez.
that's where, so Crockett's going to take over from their own 25.
From their own 25-yard line.
8:27 to go here in the second quarter. LBJ on top, 28-0. We want to thank you for joining us here on the AISD Thursday night game of the week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Stephen Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall, coming to you live from Tony Berger's Stadium. Obviously, both of us have been here a few times, but this is my first game call in here. I think yours as well.
Beautiful night for football, too, in
it's
Central
absolutely
Texas.
incredible
Just
out there.
perfect night for football.
So it'll be first down and 10 from their own 25. And Newton back to throw. Heaves it over, and that is caught by Early, who gets back to the line of scrimmage.
To number 4, Josh Early.
Quarterback took a beating on that one. They sent the house on a blitz, but he was able to get rid of the ball. No gain, but not a huge loss like it could have been had he hung on to that football.
Crockett kind of settling down now, taking their time in between plays as they'll get the call from the sideline and line up for this second down and 10 from their own 25. Under 8 to go. LBJ on top, 28-0. Newton in shotgun. One receiver wide on each side. He'll turn, flip it over to Jones, and Jones squeezing through a couple tacklers and then just piled on top of and gets dropped after a 2-yard carry.
Andrew's got some speed, but the problem is there's the LBJ defense is just totally shredding the blocking that's going on right now. So they're going to have to change something. The Cougars are going to have to change something on their blocking schemes.
So a third and manageable upcoming here, especially for what they've dealt with so far. 3rd and 7 here from their own 28. And Newton in shotgun, 2 receivers wide to his right. He'll look left, and it is batted down. And that's unfortunate. It falls incomplete. He had a man cutting on the slant right. I believe it was Joseph Lopez on the left side. And looked like he was going to have an opportunity to go, but good job by the defensive front of LBJ to smack that ball down.
Yeah, that's one of the circumstances where you want the quarterback to release that ball just a beat sooner because the safety was able to come over and knock that ball away. But again, we're seeing some quality play, and I know I'm harping on it, but the speed on this LBJ side of the football is just hard for the Cougars to match up.
So 4th and 7, and the punt is away. This one, a line drive, takes a hop and another skip and a hop, and it'll roll all the way down to the 29, and that is where it's going to be down for LBJ to take over. Pretty solid punt that time, and LBJ was just kind of content with letting it roll with the 28-point lead.
Well, and the Cougar defense got to stop, so I know you're 4 scores down, but you've got something there to build on. They had some success early in the drive, moving the football. So, see if this Cougar defense can get a stop.
6:48 to go here until halftime. LBJ on top, 28-0. 1st down and 10, and LBJ will get the ball over out to the playmaker. That's cutting upside the right sideline. And a fumble actually occurred at the end of that play and that is going to be Crockett football.
Nice job. I think running back got hurt on that, but that ball popped out, and that's the stop the Cougars needed right there.
I apologize. I didn't have that the back on my roster, but speedy, and he got up the right sideline, and then good hit on the tackle and popped the ball loose, and good job by Crockett to fall on it. And as you said, you got the defensive stop, and now you'll get to go back on offense with 6:36 to go until halftime.
I'd like to see
points.
I'd like to see the Cougars try to attack the middle of this line. I think that's where they'll have their most success, if they can have any at all.
1st and 10 from their own 42. A little bit of a bunch formation. One receiver down to his left, and Newton will turn and hand it off up the middle, and pretty solid spurt, but it's just going to be a 1-yard gain.
He had a good hole. The offensive line opened up a hole initially, but it closed fast and resulted in only a 2-yard gain. I thought he was going to bust that for 4, 5, 6 yards, but the Jaguars were on him.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd down and 8.
We approach 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 2nd down and 8 upcoming for Crockett from their own 44-yard line. Newton in shotgun with one receiver wide to his right, and both backs in the backfield. The play clock is at 0, and Newton looked up and saw it and started calling timeout. But I think it had been at 0 for a while. They throw the flag, but they're going to say he got the timeout off.
Yeah, the referees gave him the timeout, so that's fortunate for the Cougars.
Well, we'll go ahead and take 1-2 with 5:48 remaining here until halftime. LBJ on top 28-0. And you're listening to the ASE Thursday Night Football Game of the Week here, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com.
And welcome back to Tony Burger Center here for the SHN Sports Thursday Night Game of the Week, coming to you presented by Georgetown Jewelry. A couple plays aren't successful here for Crockett, and the punt team will come out once again. 4:27 to go until halftime. And the punt is away, and just trying to do everything they can to not allow a return, as this will go out of bounds, and they're going to say it went out right at the 42-yard line. That is where LBJ will take over.
Ball be marked on the 41-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Jaguars.
The Cougars haven't had a whole lot of success on offense, and that defense is going to start getting tired, which does not bode well for the Cougars.
It does not when you're down 28 in the first half. But it'll bring up a 1st down and 10 from their own 41-yard line. And rolling right is Scott. Scott firing to the right sideline and making a man miss, and finally hopping out of bounds is the back.
Hunter Scott's pass is complete to number 2, Andrew Makuba.
And that was Andrew
Makuba.
Makuba.
It's so frustrating for these Cougar defenders because they get out there and he's so shifty. He puts one foot down and just goes the exact opposite way, and they're just whiffing on the tackles, nothing there to tackle at the point they thought they were going to be able to make a play.
And now in Cougar territory, Scott rolling left, finally deciding to fire on the left sideline and then pushed out of bounds. And I believe that was Tyrone Jarrell's on the catch.
Jaguars moving the pocket that time, getting the quarterback out of the pocket, trying something a little bit different, a little wrinkle that the Cougar defense hasn't seen, but they've done a good job so far shutting this down.
Bring up a 2nd down and 7. Once again, pocket rolling right, and firing across the right sideline. It is caught, and once again, that is Jarrell's on the catch. LBJ looking like they're trying to score one more time before halftime. 3:30 to go here until the end of the first half, and Scott and company are rolling here on offense.
Moving the ball quickly, and again, I think you're starting to see the Cougar defense get tired.
Scott this time fires it to the left sideline. I think it was dropped. Yeah, it was Josh Early, the intended receiver, trying to set up a bubble screen for him, but he ends up dropping it when he turned upfield.
Well, to this point, whenever LBJ has stalled, it's been mistakes they've made, except for the one forced fumble, the previous turnover that the Jaguars had. But they've had the success there, and any time they've been stopped, it's been mostly self-inflicted wounds.
2nd down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Scott rolling left and almost tripped over himself, and then finally dropped in the backfield for the sack. One of the first sacks we've seen tonight for Crockett.
Nice job out there stretching that out. Quarterback lost his footing a little bit, but the defender kept pursuing him, took him down. Good sure tackle out there to shut that play down. Now it's 3rd and long. This is one of the first 3rd and longs that LBJ's had, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot.
Yeah, this offense was rolling to start this drive, and now facing a 3rd and 19 from the Crockett 36, and before the play can get going, they're going to blow it dead. Wouldn't be surprised if this was a timeout or a false start.
No, it's false start.
Good call, Kelly. It is a false start, so instead of a 3rd and 19, it'll be a 3rd and 24 with 2:43 to go until halftime.
Yeah, they're really trying to air it out, put it into the hands of number 1, their playmaker.
Yeah, well, they've got a few to choose from out there. But, yeah, it'll be Sean Fresh in the backfield with quarterback Hunter Scott. 3 receivers wide right, 1 up top to his left. 3rd down and 24 from the Crockett 41. And back to throw is Scott, staying in the pocket, now rolling left and getting sacked in the backfield. And that was Crockett finally getting some pressure, and when they needed it. Trying to see the number on that, I believe. Yeah, it was number 40. The linebacker, James Hudson Jr., who shook off the block and just went straight for Scott, and finally able to bring him down on a 3rd down. And now, instead of a field goal or even a touchdown, it's going to be a punt here for Crockett.
Yeah, nice job by Hudson out there in pursuit. Just shut that down.
And a line drive kick. It almost looked like it was spiraling. It pops up, and they're going to let it roll. Takes a good Cougar roll, and is going to be stopped right outside the 5-yard line. Just at the 6. And with 1:41 to go here in the second quarter, Crockett will get the ball back. And I'd be surprised if they're super aggressive, but at the same time, they'd love to get some points. Yeah, but starting the field so far back, it's going to be tough.
Even the punt game's working right now. That was a good job by the Cougar defense of stopping that, but now they're pinned deep, minute 41 to go, and they haven't had a lot of success in the air, so I would imagine we'll see them keep it on the ground, get out of this half.
And they will pitch it over to thrown backwards is the back on the carry, and it was number 14, I believe, on the stop. Anthony Haynes coming up and creating the loss.
For the Cougars. Loss of a couple on the play brings up second down and 14.
Trying to get to those edges is just impossible for the Cougar running backs.
It just takes too long to develop.
Yeah.
You know, the snap goes to the quarterback, he turns, he pitches it to the back, and no one's going vertical yet.
Well, and they've tried some play action, but the corners and the linebackers aren't behind the play action, just sticking with where the ball's going, and it hadn't done anything to fool the Jaguars.
Second and 14 on their own 2-yard line, trying to avoid a safety, and Latuerne handed off up the middle and squeaking through, maybe getting back to the 3-yard line. Is Jones on the carry. And the clock will just continue to tick with under 40 to go here until halftime.
That would almost make you want to just line up in a goal line formation. Just push forward, keep that clock going. 10-second differential between, or 9-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. So they're going to let it run. LBJ could stop it. They got all 3 of their timeouts left, but I think they're content to get out of this half up 4 scores.
Yeah, I think anyone would be. And just avoiding a safety and then being shoved out of bounds was Andrew Jones on a similar carry. And that time, man, he was almost swallowed up in the end zone, but somehow escaped and actually gained a couple yards. But it's still going to bring up a 4th and 8 with 6 seconds to go.
Yeah, now they got a punt. Got the speedster back.
Yeah, you're going to want to make sure this one goes out of bounds long enough to get zeros on the clock.
Kick it high.
Yep. Some late substitutions coming in for Crockett on that front line. But see if he can, as they come after the punt, and it's a short punt, and it does take a 1 hop and then go out of bounds with 1 second on the clock, and it's right down at the 35. So really they could try to kick a field goal if they wanted with 1 second. Ball on it's actually on the 25-yard line of Crockett.
Yeah, 42-yarder. I don't know that the LBJ kicker's got enough leg behind him.
And they'll send out the offense. Newton and company. 1st and 10 from the Crockett 25-yard line, and sorry, I meant Scott and company, but now a timeout is taken. Crockett taking their last timeout. Their third of the half with 1 second remaining, and it's looking like LBJ is going to come out and just see what they can do.
Yeah,
see if they can put up another score.
This is one of those deals where you tell your safeties, go put your heels on the 5-yard line. Don't let anybody pass you.
40, Eastside Memorial 0.
Just 1 play remaining before halftime, of course, barring any penalties, but LBJ holding the 28-0 lead. And they've looked sharp after coming off a loss last week.
They have. They've got size on the both sides of the lines. They've been able to control the line of scrimmage and then just outman Crockett with the speed that they have. To the edges, up the middle, just dominant. It'd be really interesting to see what these halftime stats are.
So the teams will break the timeout and come out for this 1st and 10 from the Crockett 25. 1 second remaining. Scott is going to roll left, looks and fires to the corner of the end zone, and that is over the head of everyone. It falls incomplete.
Hunter Scott's pass falls incomplete.
It was intended for the back out of the backfield, and that'll do it for the first half. Of course, your score, LBJ 28, Crockett 0. We're going to take a break for a message from our sponsors and be back with a little first half wrap up, and then we'll try to let the bands play a little bit. You're listening to the Thursday night game of the week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry here on SHN Sports.
You or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident. How would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105. Central Texas High School football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at GeorgetownShirtCompany.com. 2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at GeorgetownJewelry.com.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
And welcome back to the Tony Burger Center here in Southeast Austin, for the AASC Thursday night game of the week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry, where we have reached halftime. Of course, LBJ taking on Crockett. LBJ with the lead, 28-0. And I mean, Kelly, we talked about it at the break. Really, all there is to say is speed, playmaking, speed. LBJ just dominating this first half.
And then don't forget the speed.
Yeah, exactly.
LBJ has absolutely dominated this. The challenge now for Crockett is to not let their players get down. The game, you don't want to call it out of hand yet. Stranger things have happened, but one more score, 2 more scores, and now you're talking about in this circumstance where the Cougars just call it a game, and that's a challenge for the coaches, because you got 16, 17, 18-year-old kids out here who could get deflated very quickly after the drubbing that took place in this first half. We don't have the stats, but heavily dominated by LBJ in all aspects of the game, except turnovers.
That is true, yeah. They did get a couple fumble recoveries. He's unable to do anything with them. That defense has been stout for LBJ, and you mentioned all facets of the game. That's especially clear and evident in the special teams, as they had 2 punt returns by 2 different players on special teams for a touchdown, and actually they would have had 3 if not for a block in the back penalty. Just these guys are just running around out there and picking up some blocks and then going to the house, just outrunning anyone else on the field.
Well, and if we go back to the first drive that the Cougars had, they got the ball. So LBJ's going to get the ball to start the second half. the first drive that the Cougars had, they went for it deep in their own territory, I think around the 32-yard line on 4th down, and gave LBJ the ball right up in the Cougars into the field to start, and it didn't take much for LBJ to put the first points on the board, and that was just the beginning.
Well, we are going to let the bands play a little bit here at halftime, and before we do, just if anyone's interested in some little score updates, of course, the Houston Astros are playing the Yankees in the ALCS, and they lead it over the Yankees right now at the top of the 4th. 3-1 is the score right now. And, of course, also Thursday night football in the NFL, Kansas City all over Denver right now, 20-6. However, Patrick Mahomes has exited the game with a knee injury.
Wow.
So Chiefs Nation on high alert over there.
Yeah, there's some panic going on right now.
So, obviously everyone hopes Patrick Mahomes is all right and one of the best, most electrifying young guys in football right now. But for now, we're going to turn it over to the field and let you enjoy both bands here at halftime. And I want to thank you for joining us here on the Thursday night game of the week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry on SHN Sports. And we'll see you back here for the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, here now is the one, the only LBJ Jaguar Band. Principal of the LBJ Early College High School is Tracy Wright. Principal of the Liberal Arts and Science Academy is Stacia Krasinski. President of the Jaguar Band is Sammy Alvarez. Vice President is Philip Metcalf. Brass Captain is Creighton Tisdale. Woodwind Captain is Deanne Hughes. Percussion Captain is Alex Hochstein. Thank you for your attention, and go Jags!
Good evening and welcome to tonight's halftime entertainment. Let's give a huge round of applause for both schools. Melissa Guzman. Tonight, the Texians have invited dads, moms, brothers, sisters, teachers, and friends to be their special guests to perform with them for the Texians Choice routine to rock and roll all night. Now, please welcome to the field the award-winning Crockett Cougar Marching Band. The band is under the direction of David Waters and Brianna Minke, with percussion instructors Robert Monroy, Alejandro Ramirez, and Aaron Brown, and color guard instructor Dulce Garcia Martinez. This year's marching show is entitled As I Sit and Wonder, and features the music of Eric Whitaker and Edward Elgar. The band is led by drum majors Daniel Cervantes and Prince Penn. The section of the beat is the color guard. Band members of the beat are Jaylyn Cook and Diego San Miguel. The Crockett Band wishes LBJ good luck as they compete in UIL competition next week. And now, put your hands together for the Crockett Cougar Marching Band.
Central Texas high school football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at GeorgetownShirtCompany.com. 2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105.
Well, welcome back here for the start of the second half for the AAC Thursday night game of the week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry, where it is LBJ 28, Crockett 0, and we are underway here as LBJ will get to start off with the football and then get the return, a little stutter step, cutting back inside, and finally met at the 32, and with the help of a couple teammates,
Sean Fresh on the return
Fresh
for the
is
Jaguars.
dropped, and he'll make it to the 33, and that is where Crockett will take over the ball. And Kelly, we mentioned it at the top of the halftime show. I mean, the speed has been killing for LBJ. What does Crockett have to do to come out here? I mean, obviously they start defensively, just trying to keep everyone in front of them. I mean,
yeah, they're going to have to do something differently on the defense. The line has to get some penetration. We may start seeing some stunts or some blitzes from the Cougar defense now, but you know, it's disheartening. They're up 28 and they get the ball to start this half.
So we'll fake the handoff and a little out route up the left sideline and just pushing forward, physical to get the first down is Scott. He got it over to the linebacker, playing a little out of the backfield action. Hicks on the catch, and he picks up about 13 on the play. And he'll set up first down and 10 from their own 45. Scott in shotgun. He'll turn, hand it off to Fresh. Fresh getting up the left sideline, cuts it back up the middle, and trudging up the left side, and finally caught from behind. A heck of an effort there. I'm trying to see who that Crockett defender was. Fresh was almost gone, and we've seen him break a couple, but the defender was able to kind of hang on his back and bring it down.
He's such a patient runner. He lets his blockers get guys out of the lanes that he needs to run in and wants to run in. Does a good job with the vision of seeing those lanes open up, and then just cuts up the field, and he's so fast.
First down and 10 from the Crockett 27. Scott going deep to the right side, and it is caught for the touchdown. What a play there by his receiver, and that was, of course, Andrew Makuba on the catch for his touchdown. He had a punt return for a touchdown and just a 50-50 ball. Not great coverage, but he was able to kind of recover, but just going up for the football there.
Whatever words of encouragement the Cougar coaches had at the half are now gone, because that just sucked the wind right out of their sails.
Number 35.
Well, you come out in a 28-0 halftime score.
Misses the point after
wow, he
touchdown.
actually missed the extra point, but it does not
11
feel
minutes,
great
13 seconds to go in
to
our
have
third
been
quarter.
beaten
Our
down
score,
so much in the
LBJ
first half
34,
and come out,
Crockett 0.
and in a couple plays already give up another score. He does miss the extra point. So with 11:13 to go here in the third quarter, LBJ on top 34-0, and Crockett set to get their first possession of the second half.
Well, I'm sure that the Crockett coaches went in at halftime and told their players, forget that first half. It's a new game. Let's build on some stuff. Let's do some positive stuff in the second half. Going to be interesting to see what they come up with on the offense in this second half. But you want to try to give them something to work with. Forget that first half, but now come out and the first half is continued over into the second half. And LBJ moves the ball right down the field and scores.
Well, we mentioned in the pregame how LBJ has been a pretty solid running team, and they showed that to start off this game. They had a lot of runs with Makuba and with Fresh and a couple of their playmakers on the outside, but we knew they're capable of passing, and they showed that kind of towards the end of the first half, and to come out in the second half, first possession, couple runs, and then bang, 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 passes deep down the field, and they just went for that about a 30-plus yard pass in the corner of the end zone, and yeah, they're capable of a lot of things right now.
Yeah, I'm watching the coaches on the Cougar side of the football try to say something to keep these guys in the game.
And the kickoff is fair caught for Crockett, so they will take over here for their first possession.
First and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
Let's get started from their own 25. And, I got to say, I'm not envious of these coaches right now for Crockett. I mean, it's just difficult to be down by so much and still have so much of the game left. But Crockett will come out and shotgun, a little bit of a bunch formation, and they'll turn, hand it off up the middle, and a pretty good gain there on first down, a gain of 5. You were calling for Crockett to charge up the middle more. They kept trying to bounce it outside, and maybe evidence as to why you keep pushing for that right there.
And that, a lot of times whenever you try to outside, try it, don't have any success, that middle may be a little more susceptible because that speed is not quite as relevant in the middle if you can hit that middle.
More of a power section, and if you can get a hole, you can break through. And this time, he gets back to the line of scrimmage and just stood up, but his forward progress is going to give him no gain to bring up third down, but they expected it that time.
Yeah, and that,
no gain on the play brings up third
again,
down 5.
one too many cuts back there. If you're trying to hit the middle of that defense, you plant 1 foot, move, go to a hole, and get up the field. And he tried to make a couple of moves back there because he's been getting hit every time he touches the football, almost as soon as he touches the football. So, it's one of those circumstances where there's not a lot working. You gain 5 yards on first down. Keep at it.
And it'll bring up a 3rd and 5 now from their own 30. 9:55 to go here in the third quarter. And Scott looking to throw, Newton rather, and he is sacked in the backfield
by number 10, Edward Thompson.
And that's about a 4-yard loss, which will make it 4th and 9, and now will come the punt unit.
Line, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, and there's nothing working for the Cougar offense tonight, and it shows these kids coming off the field with their heads down. Coach is trying to keep them up, but it's a task right now for the coaching staff.
Well, 9:23 and counting here to go in the third quarter. LBJ on top 34-0 after a 28-0 first half, and the snap is bobbled by the punter. Somehow he was able to scoop it and get it off, but LBJ actually chooses to pick this ball up for some reason. Now reversing field, a huge block put in front, and into the end zone is the return man, Devontae Sheff, who wasn't even supposed to return it. Pressure up the middle for the punt. He just trying to get rid of it. Sheff picks it up, and a huge block laid out by Danny Davis to set up the last man to beat for Sheff. And man, this route continues here for LBJ.
Yeah, that was the punter bobbled the snap, dropped it, and then panicked and couldn't pick the ball up and get it off in time. Kind of shanked the punt. LBJ's back in the end zone. That's the third special teams touchdown tonight for LBJ.
And the extra point is up and good this time. So with 8:59 to go in the third quarter, LBJ's on top 41-0 over Crockett. And, maybe potentially like a little bit of an ill-advised scoop there by Chef. Not that it would have mattered too much, but there's a lot of traffic in the area. I mean, it was not very far past the line of scrimmage that ball bounced. And a lot of people were kind of running around, but Chef was just able to kind of scoop it and have some people in front of him, picked up the huge block from Davis, and clear run into the end zone after that.
Yeah, that's one of those circumstances where coaches are yelling at you to just fall on the football, take it there, because they're already deep in Cougar territory, but he scooped it up and it worked out. And again, Davis had that big block out there on the far side of the field and just opened it up to the end zone.
It's one of those situations where you're the coach and you're like, leave it, and then you see him running upfield and you're like, oh wait, go, you got it. And good awareness by the rest of the team. Davis did not hesitate once he saw his teammate scoop that up and just went out and got the block for him. So the kickoff upcoming here to give the ball back to Crockett. With 8:59 to go in the third quarter. Of course, the score now 41-0 LBJ. And the kick is away, and it sails to the 15, and that's where it's going to be returned. And trying to pick up a couple blockers, stays on his feet, lowers his shoulder, and now gang tackled there. Surprised the refs let it go on for so long, but he'll be dropped at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Cougars will take over here.
Well, and that's what you like to see. That kid's determined. He hadn't quit yet. He got some tacklers on it, kept driving those legs, and that's what you want to see. You want to see these kids keep competing, even though you're down 41 points.
8:47 to go here in the third quarter. And Newton in shotgun, one receiver down to his left. Two backs with them, and he'll turn and hand it off to Early. And Josh Early is able to pick up about 2 yards on the play to give him 3.
It'd be interesting to see what would happen if the Cougars went with some tempo. Hit that middle, get a good gain. 2nd and 6 now. Just run some tempo.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to have something to build off of for next week.
You know how physical these LBJ linemen are, and if you were able to kind of get them playing a little bit like back-to-back plays, I mean, they're able to chill. Yeah, they're able to chill right now in between plays as they take their time, and it's going to be a 2nd down and 6 from their own 34 as Newton will turn, fake the handoff once again, looking to throw, and he fires across, and it is incomplete. Great defense there. Thrown into traffic. He had a window. It was a tight window, but it falls incomplete to bring up 3rd down.
Well, and again, the game plan, the play calling also shows you the coaches haven't quit. So, the Cougars are going to keep playing ball and keep trying to do something, put something up on the board, so they got something positive to look at for the next game.
7:57 remaining here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 6 from their own 34. Newton in shotgun. One receiver down to his left. This time he will hand off to Early, and Early was able to kind of run through the first initial wannabe tackler and then gets stuffed by a couple of linemen. Picks up maybe a yard. Bring up 4th down.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot of danger of a fake punt, but now number 23, the kicker, the punter for the Cougars, has got to get rid of that last one, that drop snap, and get this ball out of here.
Dominic Flores in to punt. And, yeah, he's definitely hoping for maybe an easier snap to handle. We've seen a couple low snaps with him as well. This time it is a perfect snap, and he kind of kicks it to the sideline. Line drive goes straight out of bounds at midfield is where they'll mark it. And that is where LBJ will take over, holding the 41-point lead.
He sees that number 2 standing back there waiting to catch the punt. And
he knows what number 2 is capable of. That's Andrew Makuba, who already has a few touchdowns tonight, including that punt return.
Yeah, and that's something that'll haunt you here at Halloween time.
Hey, it is spooky season. I keep forgetting that, but fall is here. We had that cold front that blew in last weekend. That was about a 20, 30-degree difference in a
Yes.
matter of 12 hours.
I'll take it. I'll take some more, actually. I like the cold weather for a little while.
And it's been a little steady throughout this week. We've kind of had a hot day, but a couple of nice, cool days. And like you said at the top of the broadcast, a beautiful night for football, as this one is a fake handoff, direct snap over to Jay Riggins, and he takes it up the middle himself and picks up 6 on the carry.
Well, this is a circumstance where you can get some of your guys that don't get a whole lot of playing time, get them out on the field. Now LBJ's goal is keep everybody healthy and get through this game, get this game over with, keep everybody healthy, and get ready for next week.
And they'll continue to have Jay Riggins as the snap taker. 2 receivers wide on each side. Riggins in shotgun, and a flag will be thrown. It's going to be a false start against the against the Jaguars.
That's one you work on in the film room.
And as you said, a couple of these guys getting some playing time, maybe at positions they don't normally play, or maybe just on the field when they're not normally with that opportunity. And, yeah, you're going to see mistakes like that. 5-yard penalty to bring up 2nd down and 9. Now from the 49. Riggins fakes the handoff again, trying to cut it outside, getting pursued, and is brought down right. They're going to mark him out. They'll say he was just shy of the 45, down at the 46-yard line.
Nice job outside of keeping him contained, because he's got some speed too and the ability to take it to the house on a run like that. But they shut that down out there on the Cougars defense, and now they've got a 3rd down. Hold them here. Defense walk off the field with their heads up.
3rd and 6 from the Jaguar 46, and Riggins this time will hand off to Davis on the motion, and he'll cut up the right sideline, just surrounded by Cougars and forced out of bounds after the big gain. How about the game Davis is having on both sides of the ball, really?
Yeah, he's a great athlete, boy. It's fun to watch guys like that play football. And he's got speed, and again, that's one of those circumstances where the Cougars are looking for something to hang their hats on, and that nail gets taken out of the wall, and nothing there for him.
I mean, he has done it all tonight, whether he had the ball or not, laying out big blocks as before this play can get started, it's blown dead. We may have another false start, but just laying out blocks, returning punts, making big hits on defense, and it is a false start, so it'll knock him back 5 here on 1st down.
Always got stuff to work on. You're up 41 points, but those mistakes like that, against some a little stiffer competition, those can cost you.
Yeah, and they're still going to come up in the film room this week.
And it's the pre-snap penalties, it's the self-inflicted stuff that just makes coaches absolutely crazy. And you can see the LBJ coaches over there still coaching it up and getting on these guys to keep their heads in the football game.
5:22 to go here in the 3rd quarter. LBJ on top, 41-0. 1st down and 15 from the Cougar 30. And a direct snap and running up the field, grabbing his jersey and finally being able to bring him down inside the 15. They mark him down right at the 11. Just tough running there from Jay Riggins, kind of taking over the reins while they give the quarterback a rest. And he's working this wildcat formation really well right now for the LBJ offense.
Yeah, it's kind of bringing back John Riggins. Different style of running back altogether, but hearing Jay Riggins called makes me think of John Riggins back in the day.
And this time Jay fakes the sweep handoff, shakes off a tackler, reverses field, and he may get around trying to stutter step another defender, cutting up the left sideline. A flag is thrown as he rumbles towards the goal line. I think they mark him just short, and it doesn't even matter. That's why he doesn't care if he got in or not, because this is probably going to be coming back.
Yeah, it's going to be another blindside block out there on the edge. And those rules are put in. We growing up, I watched football all the time with the Jack Lamberts of the world and the just the big hitters. But they're trying to protect these athletes, and I fully understand why they have that. And I think it's a great idea.
And that will knock them back with 4:36 to go here in the third quarter. I want to thank you for joining us here on the AISD Thursday Night Football Game of the Week presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Stephen Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall. And what has been a dominant showing here at Tony Berger Center for LBJ, leading 41-0 over Crockett. And now facing, believe it or not, a 1st and 32 from the Crockett 33-yard line.
Not much in the playbook for that, but you're not going to try to get up. Well, they may try to get all that back in one bite.
Why not? If you're wondering about any scores around sports and in general, of course, the Astros playing right now. They lead the Yankees at the bottom of the 5th right now with 2 outs. They lead it 3-1, trying to get a stranglehold on that ALCS. And of course, the Thursday night football game, NFL game, the Chiefs lead 20-6, but Patrick Mahomes had to be helped off the field with a knee injury, so we'll hope he's all right, just for the sake of football.
Some other local high school scores, other games going on tonight. Dripping Springs is pounding Lanier High School 46-0 in the third quarter. And Navarro High School is playing Eastside Memorial, and they are dominating Eastside Memorial as well, 47-0 in that game.
And this is a 1st and 25 after they get the markings right. And running up the middle, just dragging the pile with them. And you said they may try to get all of it. I don't know that they tried to get all of it, but they did get all of it. They did get all of it, I believe. Well, yeah, almost all of it, yeah, as you said. They got back to the original line of scrimmage and then a couple extra yards as it'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
That offensive line just pushing guys down the field.
It's tough running there from Anthony Haynes, as now it's actually the original quarterback, Hunter Scott, back taking the snap and spinning away. It looked like he was going to get forced out of bounds, but Danny Davis just making impressive plays all night. Getting shoved out of bounds. He did a spin move like Madden style to get around a couple of defenders and managed to stay in bounds and gain a few extra yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 3. And we have a Crockett slow to get up. So we will take a moment as the trainers tend to him. And we'll be right back. You're listening to the Thursday Night Football Game of the Week presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105.
3:46 to go here in the third quarter. LBJ on top 41-0 as the Crockett player was able to slowly walk off the field under his own power, so we'll hope he's all right. 3rd down and 3 from the Crockett 4-yard line, so they can pick up the 1st down without getting the touchdown if they can get to about the 1-yard line. It's going to be Scott in shotgun with 2 receivers, wide to his right, one up top to his left. He'll turn and fake the handoff and scooping it into the end zone for the touchdown pass and catch. It is
Hunter Scott's pass
good.
Is complete to number 22.
That was Lamel Hicks on the catch. As they faked the handoff, everyone bit on the run, and Hicks was wide open in the end zone. Almost too open. He almost dropped that ball, but LBJ gets 7 more.
Yeah, again, everything's working right for LBJ on offense and on defense and on special teams, and just a dominant performance tonight.
3:36 to go here in the third quarter. And the extra point is up and good here for LBJ as they lead it 48-0.
We've got a new score with 3 minutes 36 seconds to go in our third quarter. LBJ 48, Crockett 0.
Yeah, you hate these games for these kids on the Crockett side of the field. but they're just outmatched tonight.
And if you're wondering how we got to 48, LBJ has scored 7 touchdowns and missed 1 extra point a couple touchdowns ago.
Yeah, that's about the only thing. Well, they've had 2 fumbles. They've had several penalties, false starts and such, and the 1 missed extra point. So there are some mistakes tonight, but just not near enough for
it
the
to
Cougars to be
overcompensate that speed that they have out there. 3:36 to go here in the third quarter. Stephen Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall, bringing you the SHN Sports Thursday night AISE Game of the Week presented by Georgetown Jewelry, coming live from Tony Berger Stadium.
Yeah, we appreciate the folks here at Tony Berger Stadium. Boy, they've been so accommodating, and most everybody is whenever we show up, and we're so thankful for that. We're thankful for our viewers and our sponsors, and we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight.
It's part of the football family here on Thursday Night Football and all of football, as this is going to be fielded at the 15 and scooping under and finally being thrown down. Good special teams coverage by LBJ as he is dropped right at the 25. And that's where Crockett will take over with 3:29 to go here in the third quarter.
You wonder if at some point they're going to just do a continuous clock,
Joseph
maybe in the
Lopez
fourth
on the
quarter.
return for the Cougars, tackle made by number 32, Roy Green.
Yeah, we'll see if that may happen at the start of the fourth, but for now it'll be first down and 10 from their own 25. And turning with the handoff, making a man miss, but unable to get anywhere as he avoided the loss, but gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Andrew Jones on the carry for the Cougars.
Does Andrew
Brought down
Jones.
by number 15, Jamin Bellinger.
Same song, third verse. In
Kendrick
this
Yard
third
on the play,
quarter,
brings up
just
second down and 9.
Cougars can't get anything going on offense.
So we'll have Newton in shotgun, 2 receivers wide right, 1 down to his left. He will roll right and starts to pump, stops, flips it over, and just throws it out of bounds, throws it away.
Michael Newton's pass.
Bit of a safe call there as he was getting
incomplete.
pressured and really no one opened anywhere downfield.
Good decision there to just get rid of the football, live to fight another day, and not try to squeeze something in and make something happen that's just not there.
And instead it becomes a pretty manageable third down. 3rd and 9 with 2:45 here to go in the third quarter. We'll look to spread the field a little bit. Newton in shotgun, 2 receivers wide on each side. And he'll look to throw. Drops back, heaves it to the left sideline, and it is almost intercepted. It falls incomplete. Pass intended for Xavier Chapa. And both teams, or both players, had a chance to get the ball, but really the defender was in a better position. Chapa was unable to kind of moss him over it.
Yeah, I think the quarterback wanted that to be a back shoulder throw, but for that kind of throw, the ball's got to get out sooner, and it's got to get out too faster, harder,
Higher
throw out there. Higher, let your guy go
Chapa
up,
has
try to
the
win
sign
the ball.
Chapa has the size advantage over him, but unable to capitalize on that. And here's another sidewinder punt that goes out of bounds. And this is going to be spotted, they'll say, at the 39 for LBJ to take over.
Cougars kick goes out of bounds at the 39.
Not a lot of help on the punting game tonight either for the Cougars.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way Crockett is seeing it is, would we rather have the punt returner return it for another punt or another touchdown, or give them pretty good field position by not allowing that score?
Well, I've seen a lot of colleges, even some of the pro punters are going to it now. I've seen it a couple of times in some of the high school games I've called this year. They call it that rugby-style kick, where the
run a little bit to the side.
punter will sprint out and kind of sidewind kick the ball out there. That may be something they want to try at some point. But
well, speaking of rugby, I know that's very popular in Australia. I want to shout out my buddy Ali, who is here with us tonight. His first high school game, we were able to go to the Texas OU game, or this past weekend, but that was his first like American football game he'd been to. What a game to go to!
Oh,
right?
it's not a horrible experience.
Man, it was crazy. But yeah, and so I brought him here tonight for his taste of some Friday Night Lights, and so he's down in the stands watching from Australia. He's from Sydney.
Did he sample the deep fried everything that they had?
I honestly, if we're being real, I slept on a bench for after that game, and I was so tired. I couldn't even take another step at that fair, but I'm sure he got some food. We got some food later too, but it's just a crazy experience when you go with Texas versus OU. Unfortunately, of course, OU getting the victory, but it's 9:31 p.m. and OU still sucks. 2:31 to go here in the third quarter, with LBJ on top, 48-0, as they just get the ball back, facing a 1st down and 10 from the Crockett 39-yard line. As here we have Scott handing off and going up the middle for a few yards is Jarrell's.
For the Jaguars.
Stacked backfield back there. A little bit different look. We saw it earlier in the first quarter, but hadn't seen it much since then. And they've gone back to it. Heavy run formation. You expect LBJ to keep the ball on the ground, just run this clock, and let's get out of here for next week.
They snapped that ball with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Good penetration this time by the Crockett defense as they drop the carrier for a loss. Once again, Jarrell's kind of on that sweep, and this time he loses 2.
Yeah, and that's another circumstance. You see these kids haven't quit playing, haven't quit trying, still pursuing well. Good shut down that run out there.
So one of the few 3rd and longs we've seen so far tonight for LBJ. And as you said, Kelly, content with running down this clock to under 10 on the play clock each time. We're now under 1:20 to go here in the third quarter. But definitely admiring the heart and fight still putting out by both of these teams. LBJ up 48-0. Scott pumps, heaves it down the middle. It is caught at the inside the 15 and dropped just inside, just outside the 10. He'll be dropped at the 12, and Josh Early with a big play there. I'm sorry, that was Jay Riggins actually on the catch.
Yeah, interesting call, throwing the ball downfield like that with this big of a lead, but you can't tell your players to stop playing football.
This time they'll hand it off over to Jarrell's, and he scoops up the left hash and into the end zone for the LBJ Jaguar touchdown.
Flag.
There is a flag down, as you said, Kelly. Good eye, and this one is probably coming back. And that is the call, a holding against the offense, so wipe the points off the board. LBJ will have to go it again.
Yeah, the hold was right there at the point of attack. That was the reason why that hole was so big, and it was pretty obvious hold.
So it'll be a 1st and 20 from the Crockett 22-yard line. And Scott in shotgun. Fake. This time he will hand off, and just stumbling himself down to the ground. His feet were moving quicker than could carry him. It was Aaron Owens on the sweep run, and just dropped in the backfield.
Yeah, the yard line got him. Turf monster.
Yep.
Grabbed
popping
that toe.
up. I think it was one of them dig dug moles under there. 2nd down and 25. And I'm pretty sure they'll just let this be the last play of the third quarter unless they do feel the need to snap it. I guess they will. 2nd down and 25. Scott back to throw. He completes it up the right sideline and dragged down. It was to Bellringer, Javen Bellringer.
Javen Bellinger.
That's our
And
quarter.
with that play, we have reached the end of our third quarter with our score.
Yep,
LBJ
that'll be the last play of the third quarter. A good pickup there, and that will make the score at the end of 3. LBJ 48, Crockett 0. And we're going to take a quick moment for a message from our sponsors. You're listening to Thursday Night Game of the Week here on SHN Sports, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
School football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com. If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105.
And welcome back here to Tony Berger Center for the start of the fourth quarter, where we have a 3rd down and 16. Before play can get started, a flag is thrown, and this is going to be a false start against LBJ. So that'll knock him back for a little bit deeper of a 3rd down conversion attempt. 11:59 to go here in the fourth quarter. LBJ on top, 48-0, and we've been saying it all night, but LBJ just about has dominated in every sense of the word and every facet of the game so far.
And they really have, and it's been impressive. And like I said earlier in the game, I haven't got to see LBJ this year, and I'm impressed with their speed.
3rd down and 21 from the Cougar 23. Scott in shotgun, high snap, handles it and gets it over across the middle, and gang tackled there, finally brought down as he is near the original line of scrimmage and gains a couple more and bring up 4th down.
There may be some questions about LBJ throwing the football at this point in the game with this kind of lead, but you know, you got high school kids, and it's kind of hard to tell them to stop playing the game they're used to playing and how they're playing it, and get some work on some stuff. It's basically a scrimmage now, getting ready for next week.
So out will come Gerardo Benitez. We saw him miss 1 extra point so far, but he made the other 6, and this is his first field goal attempt, as this one is up and good. So they'll tack on 3.
And with 11 minutes, 7 seconds to go in our ball game, we have a new score. LBJ 51, Crockett 0.
And like I said earlier, you hate to see this for these kids, and but they're still out there competing and battling, and they got a lot to work on. But LBJ has got some stuff they're going to need to work on too to get ready for their next game as well.
11:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. And LBJ on top, 51-0. We mentioned in pregame, LBJ lost last week a tough game against a tough Dripping Springs team. The final was 17-14. But prior to that, they had played Northeast Early College High School and they had won that game 49-0. And the week before that, playing McCallum, my alma mater, and dominating the Knights 56-0. So not unfamiliar to high-scoring blowouts are the Jaguars so far this season, and they are able to get back to that tonight.
Well, you can tell they've got some offensive talent. Dripping Springs has had great defenses. They're notorious for great defenses.
And this kickoff is away. Another high kick that's going to be fielded at the 30, and they'll fair catch it there for Crockett to take over.
I thought they may be running a continuous clock, but they are not.
Jaguars kick is fair caught at the 30-yard line.
That's something that both coaches have to agree on, I believe, for the running clock to start. So far, we do not have one. Crockett with the ball now, 1st down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Now a delay, and timeout is going to be called by Crockett. as the line judge was over there talking to the coach about what was going on, and he just goes ahead and signals for the timeout. Does John Wall, the head football coach for the Cougars.
He's having some kind of conversation with Josh Early, the running back.
Yeah, it seemed like a real quick conversation as the offense already goes back. I want to thank you for joining us here on the SHM Football Thursday Night AISD Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Stephen Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall, coming to you from Tony Berger Center. 11:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. LBJ on top, 51-0, and Crockett with the ball. First down and 10 from their own 30. As they will turn, hand it off, trying to find some speed. Nice cutback inside, nice cutback outside, and picking up the first down is the back on the carry. Trying to see his number.
Andrew Jones.
Oh, it was Andrew Jones, the starting back there.
Nice run outside. Finally got something on that edge.
He's been looking for that all night.
Yeah.
He's got some moves, but able to pick it up there.
Yeah, now pound this right at them.
And they actually say he went out of bounds a yard short. So second down and 1 from their own 39. And trying to find some spaces early, and he's not going to get much. He's actually going to lose a few yards.
I think some of the LBJ coaches are going, don't lose this shutout. This defense wants to pitch a shutout.
Well, as we just talked about, they're not unfamiliar to shutouts, winning 56-0 and 49-0 just a few weeks ago, respectively, against McCallum and Reagan. And trying to do something similar here tonight. Third down and 4 for Crockett from their own 36-yard line. And they'll turn, hand it off, and just swallowed up in the backfield. No chance for, I think it was Jones once again. As Newton hands it off, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That defense, the defense is just absolutely controlling the line of scrimmage now, just pushing them off the football. Not much they can do. Just let the clock run.
So 9, 10, and counting here in the fourth quarter. LBJ on top, 51-0 over Crockett, and Crockett set to punt this one away. We'll see if he chooses to give it to him. This time he does not, or it kind of goes out of bounds. Actually hit the Crockett, or hit the LBJ player, and now they're going to say it's going to be down right at the 47. It looked like it hit him in the back.
Yeah, the punter got drilled out, or one of the guys on the kicking team got absolutely drilled.
Yeah, he was slow to get up, but there was no flags.
Out there on the edge. Nowhere near the play.
Thankfully, he's all right, moving out on his own power. 8:58 to go as they do stop the clock for the change of possession. So LBJ will take over once again from the Cougar 47-yard line, just on that side of midfield.
Only 2 hours and 15 minutes into this game. Quick game. Running game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of running for sure, as this one is handed off, somehow making a man miss and cutting up the right sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. No one is going to catch him. That was Anthony Haynes on the run, and that is a touchdown for LBJ. No flags, and another score as LBJ piles it on here.
One of the defenders had a shot at him back there in the backfield and just couldn't get to him, and then it was all Haynes after that.
In for the extra point will come Gerardo Benitez. Walker Kohler, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and it is good for Benitez, who also has made field goal attempt in this game. So with 8:40 to go here in the fourth quarter, LBJ's on top, 58-0. And we will take a quick break and be right back with the kickoff. You're listening to Thursday Night Football here on SHN Sports, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
Team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
And welcome back here to Tony Berger Center for the AISC Thursday Night Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry here on SHN Sports, where it's 8:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. LBJ on top 58-0, and just scoring another touchdown run as Benitez sends this one away, and it is going to be fair caught at the 21, so the Cougars will take over at their own 25.
The Cougars offense takes over first and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
I don't even know what you say to these players at this point in the game. Let's just get through the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting how aggressive LBJ has stayed throughout this game. I mean, we thought when they had the 41-0 lead, they would kind of try to run around or run some clock, and they have done that some, but they've been throwing, they've been aggressive. I know the last touchdown was a run, but here Crockett will face a first down and 10 from their own 25, one receiver wide out right, and the handoff is up the middle, plugging forward, trying to stay on his feet and moving the pile and close to a first down. Is actually picking up the first down is Josh Early. And you mentioned a few drives ago, these players aren't quitting on either side of the ball, and that is evident right there. Early refusing to go down and picking up the first down on one of the best runs of the night for Crockett.
Yeah, great run. He got low, kept his feet driving, exactly what you need to do, and this kid's still fighting for this game.
First down and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Newton in shotgun will turn, hand it off once again. Early up the right side, and it's going to get dropped at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 2.
Gain of 2 on the play, brings up second down and 8.
Maxwell came flying up, and we haven't called his name a lot tonight, but I've kind of been watching him off to the side, and he's a quick cornerback, boy. He's got some speed.
Second down and 8 from their own 39-yard line. Snap goes to Newton, and cutting up the right side, stops and then steps out of bounds. And that was Andrew Jones on the carry.
Andrew Jones on the carry for the Cougars.
The clock continues to tick, under 7 to play here in the fourth quarter. Jaguars on top 58-0. But a first down is picked up there by Jones.
Very good for a Cougars first down.
If you're keeping up with the Astros game, they were up 6-1. They had 2 3-1 bombs, one by Springer, one by Correa, and the Yankees are fighting back, trying to stay in it as they just got a 2-run shot. And Houston up 6-3 in the bottom of the 6th.
Javen Bellinger. And the Jaguars offense takes over first and 10.
And now LBJ will get the ball back yet again here with 6:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Of course, LBJ up 58-0.
Yeah, they're running continuous clock now.
Yeah, there's been a couple plays where players stepped out of bounds and they kept the clock rolling, so yeah, that's safe to say. First down and 10 from the Cougar 42-yard line. Handoff up the middle with a lot of daylight in front of him. Speedster trying to stay on his feet and inside the 20, dropped at the 16-yard line. And Haynes, in some mop-up work, has been really solid as one of these backs coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, they're running the football, but again, the Cougars having a hard time tackling that guy.
And play is blown dead as a flag is thrown.
Illegal substitution.
As that is indeed the call. So that will push the ball forward even further for LBJ. 5:42 remaining in this game. LBJ on top 58-0, and they're now in the red zone yet again.
Seem to be having a little trouble figuring out where to spot the football, but got it spotted. Run the clock.
And in at quarterback for the Jaguars, Walker Kohler, as they once again hand it off up the middle to Anthony Haynes, and he is in for the touchdown. LBJ continuing to score here in the fourth quarter as they get to 64, 5:25 to go in the ball game, and Benitez out coming for the extra point once again.
Well, not much you can say. Just LBJ completely dominant tonight.
And the extra point is up and good for Benitez. 5:25 remaining in this contest. And, I mean, you can't really blame LBJ for being too aggressive or whatever's going on, because they're really just handing it up the middle, and their speedsters are doing the work.
Right. They running the football. Just you can't tell your lineman to stop blocking.
You can't tell your running back to not run.
Right. I gotta let my linebacker kick this ball. Maybe a left guard.
I want to thank you for joining us here on the Thursday night game of the week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry on SHN Sports. Stephen Strong with you alongside Kelly Duvall. And, man, it's been a beautiful night for football. It's a beautiful night for anything here in Austin, Texas.
Gorgeous. This is why I love Central Texas. Just beautiful. Now the moon's coming up over the stadium.
Can't get much better than a night like this. And it can't get much better for this LBJ team right now as they lead it 65-0. And as you said, they're wanting to keep this shutout going as the as the return is taken up the middle and dropped in just outside the 35. A flag is thrown late, I believe, on that far sideline. Possibly some unnecessary roughness, a late hit. It was towards the sideline over for LBJ, but and this is a personal foul for unnecessary roughness against LBJ. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, and that'll push Crockett near midfield to start this drive with 5:14 to go in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's one of those things the LBJ coaches will be talking to their players about. There's always something you can learn, even in a blowout. Win.
So Crockett will come out first down and 10. Ball on the Jaguar 47-yard line. Newton will turn, flip it over. There's actually Lopez in at quarterback now, and flips it over to his man who just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. He may have even lost a yard.
Andrew Jones on the carry for the Cougars, brought down by number 15, Jamin Bellinger.
That'll bring up second down and 11. You know, I know Jones, just the entire offense here for the Cougars has struggled, but Jones has shown that, you know, he's a solid back, and he's got some moves up his sleeve that He's really fighting out there and dragging for extra yards.
He is, and I like seeing that kind of spirit in a kid like this. You're down 65 points and still running hard. I like to see that.
2nd and 11. Ball on the 48-yard line, and they'll turn, hand it off once again, this time to Early, and Early spun around and thrown down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Tackle made by number 14, Anthony Haynes. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
It's also impressive how many of these guys out there for both teams are playing both sides of the ball and at such a high level. I mean, Anthony Haynes there made the tackle, and he's got a couple of touchdown runs and kind of mop-up duty on the LBJ offense, and still out there hitting guys and bringing them down late in the 4th quarter, holding the 65-point lead.
And neither team has a great number of players on their sideline, so not a ton of depth there. But, you know, in this circumstance, some of these guys are getting some playing time they haven't gotten earlier in the year, and that's good for them.
So 3:43 to go here in the ball game, and Crockett will take their 2nd timeout of the half. LBJ has 2 remaining, and Crockett facing a 3rd down and 10 coming out of this timeout.
As bad as LBJ wants to keep this shutout, Crockett wants to avoid the shutout.
And back to throw is their quarterback, and knocked away into double coverage. Of course, that was Joseph Lopez, who I think has a touchdown in receiving as well. He's one of the receivers, but also getting some action in at quarterback here late in the 4th quarter. And that throw falls incomplete. Really could have been picked.
Yeah, you threw that ball out there late. We've seen that a couple of times. That's one of those back shoulder throws that you're looking for, but that ball's got to be in the air to give your guy any shot at it, especially whenever that safety comes over to help out on the corner.
2:55 to go here in the 4th. And it's a 4th down and 10 from the Jaguar 47. And looking to go for it, looking to throw. Spins out of a wannabe sack and cutting up the field, trying to stretch for that goal line or for that 1st down marker, and spun out of bounds just shy. And that is going to be a turnover on downs. Man, heck of an effort there from Joseph Lopez, showing off his moves, but still just unable to get to the 1st down. I was rooting for him.
That was one of the first times that we've seen any of the ball carriers for Crockett be able to avoid a tackle out there on the edge whenever the defender comes over, and safety came flying over, and he was able to juke him a little bit and get outside. Almost got the 1st down, but not quite. So turnover on downs, and LBJ gets the ball back.
And LBJ will get the ball at their own 38 with a 1st down and 10. 2.5 minutes to go left in the 4th quarter. LBJ on top, 65-0. And they're just going to take knees at this point.
Jaguars quarterback number 19, Walker Kohler, takes
Walker
the knee.
Kohler in, getting some playing time. The backup quarterback, the senior, as he takes a knee. And LBJ, I guess, finally got to the point where, hey, we're not going to hand it off anymore. Let's just...
We're done learning. We're done running our scrimmage. Get this clock to 0, and let's get out of here.
As the play clock gets to under 10. 2nd down and 14 upcoming, and we expect to see another knee here from Kohler. And that is the case.
Kohler again takes a knee.
Well, you hate this again for the Crockett kids, but LBJ's got a football team, and now is whenever the district starts separating themselves and the playoff positioning starts to take place. So LBJ trying to climb that ladder a little bit and make their bid for the playoffs. With 4 teams going, they're probably going to be right in that mix.
Yeah, and you think about the heartbreak that they had last week, losing by 3 to a good Dripping Springs team, a team that they knew would be tough, but that they felt like they could hang with, they felt like they could beat, and they were unable to beat them. But it's easy to kind of struggle to shrug off a tough loss like that, but they did not disappoint tonight, taking on Crockett, just completely focused the entire game, doing what they had to do to take care of business and getting it done, as we should see one more snap here from LBJ, and they will move on to 5-2 on the year overall. Crockett is going to drop to 2-5 on the year.
This is 4th down, so Crockett will get the ball back.
Kohler again takes a knee.
Yeah, they're just going to let this game run out. So it is official.
No, not yet. They're making offense come out.
Oh, they actually did. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought they were saying. Well, one more switch of possessions and Crockett will come out. Hey, man, if you're LBJ's defense right now, you're saying, hey, we got 12 seconds. We've been pitching this shutout all game. Do not give up a score. I don't care what this is. It's not 65-0 sounds a lot better with 12 seconds left in the game than 65-6 or 65-7. It'll be interesting to see how Crockett chooses to play this out with 12 seconds. First down and 10 from the 27. They'll turn, hand it off, trying to pick up a couple blocks and cutting it back inside and finally dropped at the 15-yard line. And now it is final as the clock strikes 0. Your final LBJ 65, Crockett 0. And a heck of a game put together here by the Cougars. And we're going to keep it right here for a little bit of a post game, and then we'll get out of here. Let everyone enjoy the rest of their weekend. But just real quick, Kelly, I mean, as the teams shake hands, and really, honestly, like, this was a good, well-respected game. I mean, there was no agitation, no fighting, just great respect between these two teams, regardless of what the score was. But
yeah,
of course,
we only saw one personal foul that could have been a little chippiness over on one side, but I'm proud of the Cougar players for maintaining their calm, maintaining their cool, and not getting frustrated and taking shots. But clean game. I don't think there were any major injuries in the game. Both teams come out with their players healthy, and this is one that the Cougars just have to shake off. I'd probably burn this game too. But LBJ impressive tonight, and it is they're fun to watch, fast on both sides of the football. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now in district as district play continues, and to see where LBJ falls.
Of course, LBJ moving on to 5-2 overall. The Cougars drop to 2-5, and that'll just about do it from us. We're going to go ahead and get out of here and let these folks clean up. We appreciate Tony Berger Center and, of course, all of AISD. You've been listening to the SHN Sports Thursday Night Football Game of the Week presented by Georgetown Jewelry. And on behalf of Kelly Duvall and everyone here at SHN Sports, Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening, we will see you tomorrow for all the games here on Friday Night Lights, and we wish everyone a safe and beautiful, happy weekend. Enjoy that weather out there, guys.
I'll be on the call in Georgetown. I'll be on the call.
And, of course, yes, the Eagles play tomorrow with Kelly Duvall.
Actually, it's in Pflugerville tomorrow. So they play in
even
Pflugerville.
closer, kind of.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to all the action this weekend on SHN Sports and in and around high school football and college football as well on Saturday with some of the games going on. But we thank you for tuning in, and we wish everyone a happy weekend. We'll catch you for the Thursday night game of the week next week.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.